Hi guys, I'm Queen and this is Jenny's Crowns. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber and if you're seeing my channel for the first time, welcome. So today we'll be drafting a bodysuit. So I'm going to make use of this fabric. So it's a transparent fabric and it's also stretchy. So I'm going to make use of this. You can see that is stretchy. So if you're going to be making use of a non-stretchy fabric, please, you will be adding allowance to it. So let's get started. So we're going to start with our starting line here, which is going to serve as our shoulder line. Go ahead and place your measuring tape on this line. So from here I'll be marking my chest line, my bust point, then I won't be making use of my under bust here, so I'll be going down to my waistline. So I'm going to replace or repeat this measurement here just so that it can help me get a straight line when connecting the points. So I'm going to use my ruler here to connect the points, as you see me doing. So go ahead and connect the points. The next measurement we're going to put down is our crouch measurement. To get your crouch measurement, sit on a flat surface. Then place your measuring tape on your waistline down to the surface. Then take your crouch measurement. So I'm going to place my here. I'm going to mark it here. So for me, my crouch measurement is 11 inches. So I'm going to connect the points with a straight line. Okay, so we're going to label these lines. So this is my shoulder line, my chest line, bust point, waistline, crouch line. Now if you notice, we do not have a hip here. So to create our hip line, you can choose to come down from your waistline by 5 inches, or you divide whatever you have from your waistline down to your crouch line by 2 and mark whatever you have. So I came down from my waistline by 5 inches. So now this will serve as our hip line. Go ahead and label it as your hip line. Now we're going to work on our neckline. I'm going to place half of my shoulder measurement on the shoulder line. So go ahead and divide whatever you have as your shoulder measurement by 2 and mark it. Then come down from that point by 1 inch. Then put down your neck width. I'm using 3 inches. Then neck depth 3 inches. So you can choose to use this neckline. I'll be doing some alterations for mine. I won't be using this neckline. So I'm going to connect that 1 inch to the neck line there. So now I've already marked my chest line, okay, when I was putting down those lines. So for you to get your chest line, divide your round bust measurement by 6, then add 1.5 inches to get your chest line. So now, before connecting my armhole line, I'm going to make sure what I have on the shoulder tallies with what I have on my chest line here, so that I can have a straight line. So I'm going to connect this like this. Now this is the front pattern. I'm going to divide my round bust measurement by 4 and put down whatever I have on that chest line. So work with your own round bust measurement and divide it by 4 just to get that, and mark whatever you have on your chest line. Hope that is clear. So I'm going to mark it here. Be sure that you're putting your accurate measurement here. To get my armhole curve, I'm going to divide whatever I have here by 2, then come in by 0.5 inch. I'm going to connect these points to get the curve. So you can use your free hand or use your armhole curve or French curve, whichever one you have. Just get a curve here. Then I'm going to divide my round waist measurement by 4. Then mark it on the waistline, the line labeled waistline. So divide your round waist measurement by 4, then put down whatever you have on that line. Make sure you're working with your accurate measurement. So for my round hip, I'm going to divide it by 4 and mark. So if you're working with a stretchy fabric, please subtract 1 inch from your measurement. So from this crotch line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my crotch extension. Then I'm going to go out here by 1.5 inch. I came down from the crotch line by 1 inch, then came out by 1.5 inches. So to get our curve, I'm going to be connecting this point. So let's connect our bust point to the waistline before we return back to the crotch line. I want you to get it so you're not confused. So I'm connecting my bust point to my chest line to the waist here like this. Now to get our curve from the hip line to the crotch line, so you can choose to come from the corner there by 4.5 inches, but I'm coming from this center part simply because I want a little bit of more coverage at that region. So I'm going to use my pencil here just to trace it here. So let me make this more visible. This is the line we're working with, all right? So I'm going to use my pencil to trace this with my hands, just freehand here. Then when I'm satisfied with the curve, I'm going to use my marker to make it more visible. So I'm okay with this. So I'm going to use my marker to get this. So you can use your free hand to connect this, but I'll be using my curve rule here to connect the curve. So what we're doing here is to get that curvy part. You know that curvy part on your panties, right? So that's what we're trying to get here. So I'm going to connect it all the way here. You can see. So you should have something like this. All right. So I'm going to work on my neckline now. Remember I said I'm not going to be making use of this neckline. I'm going to be using a V neckline for this. So I'm just going to come to the shoulder here, trace it all the way down to my chest line. Nothing serious, just there. Then use my marker to make it more visible since I'm okay with the way it looks. So this is what I'm going to do. So I like what I have here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. All right. Go ahead and cut this. So if you're making use of a stretchy fabric, there will be no need for you to use a zipper. But if you're not making use of a stretchy fabric, please add your sewing allowance and your zipper to your back piece. So now I have another pattern paper here. There's a more easier way to do this, but since this is a beginners friendly tutorial video, I'm going to do this. So I came down from my neckline, for the back by 1.5 inch. That's for the depth. Then for the width is the 3 inches. All right. So I'll come down from my shoulder here by 1 inch, just as I did for the front, then connect it to the neckline. I'll be using my front pattern as a template, somehow as a template for this. So I'm placing this like this, making sure what I want to get here is to get the bust point, the chest line, the waistline, the hip line, and also the line for our front crotch line. It's very important. Okay, we will not be making use of it, but it will serve as a guide. So I'm marking this. So this is my crouch line here. So I'm going to extend these lines before we work on the crouch line for the back. All right. So I'm going to place my front piece aside and extend the lines. So like I said, there's a more straightforward way to go about drafting the back pattern, but just so that we are not confused, I'm going through this to make sure we all understand. All right, so I'm going to extend the lines. So this is my hip line and this is my crouch line. All right, mind you, this is the crouch line, not the crouch depth. Hope you understand. This is a crouch line, not a crouch depth for the front pattern. Okay, the next I'm going to do here is to label this so that we know what we're working with. My chest line, bust point, waistline, hip line, and the crouch line. Okay, so there's no zipper allowance here because I'm working with a stretchy fabric. So again, I'm using my front pattern here just to make sure that the lines are accurate, if there's need for adjustment, and I think everything is nice. So now I'm going to come down and mark my crouch extension here. So go ahead and mark your crouch extension. It's going to help you. So from this crouch extension here that I'm marking here, I'm going to place my tape here to get the extension, the crouch extension for my back pattern, which I came down from that point by 4 inches. I came down from the front pattern crouch extension by 4 inches to get my back crouch extension, and I went out by 1.5 inch, the same thing I did for the front pattern. So now I'm going to put down my round bust measurement divided by 4 here just to get my armhole, because I'm still yet to work on that. Then I'm going to divide my round bust measurement by 4. Then to get the curve here, I'm going to divide whatever I have here, mark it here, then connect this. So it's different from the front pattern. There's no need to go in by 0.5 here. So I'm going to connect it like this. Now I'm going to divide my round waist measurement by 4, mark it, then my round hip measurement by 4, mark it. So just as I did for the front pattern, I'm going to connect this. Okay, go ahead and connect. So for the curve here, this is the back pattern, remember, I'll be adding 2 inches to what I added for the front here. So add 2 inches. The reason is so that we can have better coverage for the back piece. So you can choose to come out from this corner here, but I'm using this just to have a better coverage like I said before. So I'm going to use my pencil to trace this line. Mind you, let me make it more visible so you can see. We're making use of this crotch, please, not the other one we measured. This is the back extension, crotch extension for the back. So I'm going to measure 1.5. I have 1.5 inches there. Then I'm going to use my pencil to trace this to get a curve. Then when I'm okay with whatever I have, I will use my marker to make it visible. So I'm happy with what I have here. So I'm going to use my curve. You can use your free hand again, but I feel that using your curve gives you more defined lines. So I'm just going to connect this all the way to meet the 1.5 inches here. So this is our back pattern. I'm not doing any change or alteration on the neckline. So this is my back pattern. Go ahead and cut So this is the back and this is the front. You can see when you place them side by side, this is what you should have. You can see that the crouch line of the back is longer than that of the front. So this is what you have. So in our next tutorial, we'll be cutting and sewing this bodysuit. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, and also click on your notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. Until next time, bye.